LA has turned into a war zone between ICE and Trump have to step in and send in the National Guard. We see where there's riots, protests, burning vehicles going on in LA. LA is turning upside down. Trump has officially turned these cities sideways. Gavin Newsom has been MIA, missing in action for the last couple of days. So I've put together a couple of videos where basically illustrate exactly what is going on down in LA, and we can hear from direct people from LA how they feel, how the situation is on the ground, and we can see with our two eyes.
And so what do you and your girlfriend do at that point?
We get off and we see everybody else getting off to record. Peacefully, we do not throw anything at them. We're not yelling at them. We're just recording what's going on because people deserve to know the truth. This is why you guys are here. This is because, you know, these things need to be documented. This is what they wanted. They wanted people to riot. They wanted the people to start fireworks. They wanted the people to start burning out. Why? Because this is the effect. So they can make us look bad. So they can make us seem that we're the ones causing this, that we started it. We didn't start this.
So you jump out of your car and you start recording. So what happens from there? Tell me what happens with your girlfriend.
As soon as we start recording, that's when they start pointing the tear gas guns and they start shooting everything. Everything, everywhere. So we can't breathe, we can't see anything. She has her phone. One of the agents, I hear them go for the people with the phones. They went straight for my girlfriend. They ripped her out of my arms. They took her. They threw me. They threw me her phone. What the
You're a dumbass.
My disappointment is I've been talking to the federal government for days. I was hoping to prevent this situation from happening. I was trying to encourage the administration that if they deployed the National Guard in Los Angeles, it would create a sense of chaos. It's the last thing our city needs. Our city is still trying to recover from the wildfires. And you just think about how so many people were impacted by that. And that's an example of where the administration was helpful. And to go from that situation to where we are now is just really tragic. And I think it's so unfortunate. It's the last thing Los Angeles needs. We're hearing all sorts of information. We're hearing that the raids could continue. We're hearing that the National Guard is going to be here. So it's uncertain. But that's exactly the problem. Because we don't need in this city to go to sleep tonight and wake up in the morning and find out about people running through Home Depot parking lots being chased by ICE officers, or people going to work, or children at school. So we don't need any of that in our city right now. Our city is trying to heal. Our city is trying to rebuild. Our city does not need to be torn apart with a provocative measure from the federal government.
So let me get this straight. Y'all really thought you were gonna push LA around? This is where Tongva women, like Toy Perina, planned rebellions in 1785 to push the colonizers and their missions off her land. This is where the first Chinatown built by Chinese Americans is. 18 Chinese men and boys were lynched here in 1871, and they still chose to rebuild. This is home to the LA garment strikes. In the 1930s, thousands of garment workers, mostly Latinas, walked out of shops in downtown LA for 26 days. They got a 40-hour work week and fair pay. This is where the Zoot Suit Rebellion was. White sailors and soldiers attacked Chicano youth. In 1943, they ripped their Zoot Suits right off their backs. But you better believe they fought back. And blacks and Filipinos were right there swinging with them. This is where the Watts Rebellion raged for 6 days. Since police want to harass black folk, in 1965, we caused $40 million in damage to the neighborhood and built Ujima Village, Martin Luther King Jr. Hospital, Charles Drew University, all in its ashes. They sent down 14,000 National Guard troops for that. This ain't our first rodeo. This is LA, home to one of the Black Panther Party's most active chapters. They created the first SWAT team in America to raid their office. They killed chapter leaders at UCLA. They didn't stop organizing. Many of them went underground. This is where the East LA walkouts happened. In 1968, thousands of students walked out of class for Chicano representation and education. Black studies started at San Francisco State in 68, but Chicano studies started at Cal State LA in 69. This is LA, where the American Indian Movement, AIM, occupied the Bureau of Indian Affairs in downtown. 1972, they demanded sovereignty and forced treaties. Their land back. Baby, this is LA, when the feds cut funding to AIDS programs. The queer community not only stepped in to take care of each other, they took direct action. Act Up, the AIDS Coalition to Unleash Power, stormed the Federal Drug Administration's LA office. Cause why is the FDA gonna keep delaying approvals for AIDS drugs while all these people out here dying? They shut down Wilshire Boulevard to protest healthcare inaccessibility. They held die-ins and mass protests at Catholic churches, the CDC, and pharmaceutical giants. I mean, this is really LA. We've always been too much for the world. We have never backed out of a fight. The LA riots didn't happen for our health. It happened for our freedom. It's true we might not always get along, but we know how to protect one another. This is LA.
Is the administration targeting blue cities with blue governors they don't like, or are you seeing similar actions in Texas?
I think what they're targeting is they're trying to deport people as fast as they possibly can. What's going to happen is it's going to be across the country. And once again, this is the tip of the iceberg. Joe Biden took a hatchet.
What do you mean by that?
Joe Biden took a hatchet to an already broken immigration system. Right now, there's over 400,000 asylum seekers that under the last administration had their cases closed without adjudication. They weren't given a yes. They weren't given a no. They just had their cases closed. So one could argue that these 400,000 people are in this country illegally and should be deported immediately. One could also argue that these 400,000 people did not get proper, an opportunity to state their case, and they didn't have that ability. What I'm worried about is this thing's going to escalate. It's not going to be just LA. It'll be cities all over the country as we continue to deport people.
There is a new ICE tactic the Trump administration appears to be using to ramp up deportations. Here's how it works. Government lawyers terminate someone's case inside immigration court, then ICE arrests them outside for immediate deportation. Cancel, arrest, deport. This video from Virginia shows people being arrested right in the parking lot outside immigration court. Same day in Miami, similar scene, and this is happening more and more across the country.
People who have been here for less than 2 years, the government asking for dismissal, and then the minute that they get out of there, then all of a sudden they're now in expedited removal. So taking them into custody and placing them in this new type of proceeding where they won't get to present their case before the immigration court. In 20 years, I've only ever had one client who was arrested outside of a courtroom, and I think those are very specific circumstances.
In a statement to NBC News, a DHS official said ICE is following the law and placing these illegal aliens in expedited removal as they always should have been.
It has a chilling effect. People don't show up to court because if you think that you're going to be arrested and then immediately deported, why come? You have to be prepared for the idea that your family member isn't coming home.
Wow, they tied up right here the other car. Waymo car right here.
Authorities may be contacted.
So I actually ran into a guy I know who said he was here when all of these Waymos, there's 5 of them, driverless cars were set on fire. He said they did it as response. Yeah. Call you later.
Fuck these pigs, man! They're scared of us when they call out the Marines! They know who has the power!
No, I want you to... Hello. Congresswoman Waters, I just came to use my congressional authority to check on David.
Ma'am, our lobby is secure right now to all visitors.
Excuse me, I need to get in.
Contact our public appeal.
I need to get in.
What are you hoping to do, Congresswoman?
I just want to see David Werta. Right.
Would a congressperson normally be able to enter the...
Normally, yes.
What is happening
Yes.
here?
Well, there were some of the authorities, I don't know who they were, and I'm trying to get in to see David Worker, who they have arrested. He is the head of SEIU local union here. I don't know why he was targeted. I don't know what they're doing with him. I don't know whether they're going to deport him. I want to report back to my caucus about what's happening, but they have.
You can see a Nassau police helicopter flying very low to the ground while there were hundreds of people on the beach, crowds of teenagers on the beach. That chopper flew so low that actually the wind from the chopper was used to disperse the crowd, and you could see just people running away.
What's happening right now in my city, Los Angeles, breaks my heart. ICE raids are tearing through our communities like we're in a war zone, like we're not even human. I've seen our people running, hiding, fleeing like it's some kind of third world conflict. And this is supposed to be the land of opportunity? There's no fairness, no due process, just fear. Among those being detained are hardworking mothers, fathers, neighbors, and friends. People who build this country with their hands are being thrown out of it like they're disposable. Families are being ripped apart in broad daylight. It's not right. This is why we must be united, not just as brown people, but as human beings. In times like these, unity is our strength and love is our resistance. I pray to God that He keeps us safe, that He shields us from these injustices, and that we never stop fighting for each other. These are dark days, but we are not alone, and we will not be silenced.
If anyone doesn't think that there's a form of martial law in Los Angeles, I just want to introduce you to Checkpoint with military. There's like, hello, how's it going?
You guys got a pass?
Yeah, press pass.
Medium.
Yeah.
All right, you guys are good.
Thanks for your service.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, this is full military equipment in a civilian population. So that's what's happening in Los Angeles.
There was earlier this morning, apparently a raid by ICE here at a business called Ambiance. Then a crowd started forming outside the perimeter. They started actually surrounding these buildings.
We have a piece of video. You can see that they've gotten the people and they put them in these vans. It was a very strange sight to see because they started to leave and there were people who were protesting, trying to keep these vans from getting out. And the video seen here is deeply troubling because these officers, look, there's that person in front. And the officers did not stop, these agents or whatever federal authorities they were. And notice how this person continued to stay in front. And the officer did not slow. No officer came out and tried to get this out. And then watch as the person in front falls and hits his head on the ground. And that just seemed like it was an injury. But then these agents then moved aside and then immediately took off, and we watched these agents almost as if it was a chase. They got together in the caravan, and we watched as those agencies or those three vans went to the Roybal federal building where they took the people that they had detained. And that was the second caravan that had gone there.
Thanks to anyone who watched this video and stayed with me up to this point, where we see how everything is breaking down in California. We have riots, we have protesters, we have the police, we have the National Guard, we have ICE out, and this is like keep happening where you have on one side people say, hey, these people are peaceful people, and the other line they say these people are not peaceful people because they came into the country illegal. The other side says they're not breaking the law. The other side says the moment they came here, they are breaking the law and participating in these protests. You are also breaking the law. But I just want to remind you that any little bit of freedom you get in this country, or should I just overall say any country, there's always protests, riots. The thing gets scary. And what we see in Los Angeles is no different from what has always happened. Yes, there are people out there I see throwing cinder blocks, lighting cars on fire. Some will say that is very unacceptable. And on the other hand, the next one will say they will do anything to resist. But it is just sad that we as Americans are literally at this point where everything have to be so polarized. And I guess you can say if you live in this country or in any world, you will have to follow politics. Either you're polarized by the left, you're polarized by the right. So anyway you take it, it's still like equal the same thing within the same outcome. But it is just sad to see it breaks down like this and everything. So I just want to give a shout out to anybody who watches my videos or clips and worst make it to this point where I'm talking right here, because the video is very lengthy and we can all look at it and see what it is. It is a breakdown of everything. And I kind of asked myself, what level will they go to get these immigrants out, and what level they will also go to protect them. And it's just a pull and tug of war by opposite force, dragging it at each other and saying, hey, these people are this, these people are that. But I kind of want to ask myself if America is willing to burn itself down to get rid of these people. And yes, some will say, yes, they're criminals, they should definitely go. And some would say, no, they're just immigrants, they're searching for a better life and to feed their family and want to look for the American dream. But we see all these Mexican flags in the street and everything, and they're saying, oh, you're not American or patriotic to this country if you're protesting and flying a foreign flag. And the other hand, people are also saying, yes, because we are Mexicans and we are the ones who are getting targeted. So we're proud of who we are, and we are still Americans, and we are still resisting tyranny or whatever they want to frame their activists as. But I'm just saying, like, guys, I'm about to jump and get out of here. But if anybody make it down to this point, I want to say, yo, thanks for tuning in, thanks for viewing my video and everything, and I'll keep making content like this and everything. Peace out, everyone. Have a good day, have a good time and everything, you know. See you in the next video.